For KETRACO, the way we understand sustainability is in terms of making sure that we are able to transport clean energy. One of the things we have been doing is to make sure that we have infrastructure in place which will be able to transport the renewable energy to the regions where people are supposed to be using it. And for us, it's that clean energy is much more sustainable than using fossil fuel. An example is the line we took to Garissa. They used to generate there using diesel. Similarly, also Lamu, and all these we have taken the infrastructure there. So now we are able to transport either geothermal power or hydropower to those areas, and they are able to enjoy those facilities which other people used to enjoy before. Kitui is one of the areas. I mean, we are focused on all counties. One of the plans in our transmission master plan is that by 2030 we expect to have transmission lines in all counties. Now, in this case, the government was also hosting Mashujaa Day here. So we also thought it's a way which we can actually maybe discuss and sell ourselves to the people here during the Energy Week. One of the things which we have also noted is that we have brought a lot of infrastructure to Kitui, not for Lower Eastern. We have actually brought the infrastructure to Mwingi. It used to be served by a 33 kV line all the way to Kitui. Now we brought infrastructure also to Kitui, 132 kV. We have also brought it again at Wote. So you can see we have covered the area in terms of transmission infrastructure. So it was only good enough for us to have this when the Mashujaa Day will be held here. For the transmission, in fact, that's at the forefront of our mandate, that we need to have stability, we need to have reliability. And one of the things we have been doing is to expand the network, and which is one of the projects we have. Like this is part of the project expansion. The other areas where we have tried to make sure that you have dual lines. What you mean is redundancy, so that in the event one line goes off, you are able to still be supplied for the other one. And we have also put a lot of other equipment, which necessarily might not be a line, but at the substation to improve the quality of line. You have other equipment like reactors, and currently we are going to put STATCOMs in Suswa substation. And these are supposed to help in making sure that we have stable grid and reliable grid. Of course, we expect investment. I mean, when you look at our transmission master plan for the next 20 years, you are talking of another 8,000 kilometers of line. We are talking of almost 15,000 MVA transformation. Now, when you have that in order to support the industrial growth, then you must build the infrastructure. Of course, there are some limitations. We know the current fiscal space is diminishing, and the initial project funding we used to follow is National Treasury would get the loan on grant to KETRACO, then from granting from KETRACO, then we are able to do the infrastructure. But that space is diminishing, so we have to think of other ways of now making sure that the infrastructure is still in place to allow for the industrial growth. PPP is everywhere, not just KETRACO. In fact, it's a national kind of thinking, and it's something we need to have a very sincere, candid discussions about it, because PPP has worked elsewhere. If you look at India, for the last 20 years, they have done PPPs. If you look at South America, they have mainly, where development of infrastructure is required, they have mainly done it through PPPs. So we have to look at ways, if we are not going to get this funding from the earlier loans which we are getting from National Treasury, then how do we go forward? Because it's not an option, we do nothing. We cannot do nothing. We know the implications. So for us, PPPs are one of the alternatives. Already, I know we already have one PPP, which is we still almost at the tail end. That is the Africa 50 and the power grid. That's a line from Kakamega, from Kibos, Kakamega, Musaga, and also you have another line from Lesos, Losuk. If once we finish it, maybe in another one in the near future, then we should be able to have a private party come and join the band. But in my thinking, we have to be candid. We have to be very, very open with ourselves. where do you get the money? And PPP, there's a lot of money with the private sector. There's a lot of money in our pension funds. There's a lot of money in banks. And we are talking of local. So this is not necessarily that it has to come, the money has to come from outside. It's not necessarily that expertise has to come from outside. It is important that we realize we can also raise that money within and be able to develop ourselves.